you have to get real with yourself. And that's one thing that I can honestly say. If you are not being 100% real with yourself, and you're almost setting yourself up for failure if you don't know what you're great at, and you just continuously do the same thing over and over again with limited awareness of how that's impacting on you, you probably will stumble, and when you stumble you lose motivation to continue. So self-awareness is key in understanding how motivated are you to achieve the goals you want to achieve. What's the capacity to achieve these things? Where are you in that space to achieve those things? Do you need to take some other steps before you actually reach out and achieve the goal that you want to achieve? So I would say really just think about that self-awareness and awareness of others, and really work out who's around that you can use and who you may not want to use in 2017. And one thing I will say here is there's a bit of a disclaimer, because when you really do think about who your supports are, you might find that you lack support from people you would really expect it from. These could be friends, it could be family, it could be your boss. And so then you need to think about strategies of how you then make changes to that relationship if that's required. So just a bit of a disclaimer there. When you start to search, you then work out some things about people and yourself, and how that therefore will impact on your continued journey, because you might have to change the way you interact with that person in order to get the things that you want out of life. Okay, so just a little tip there around the impact of developing your own awareness. Okay, so let's look at the next one, which is reflection or reflective. And if you notice, clear, learning and awareness all involve one key thing, which is reflection. You have to take the time out for yourself. I call it selfish time, people call it me time, but either way, you have to actually go into your thinking, go deeper than just the surface thoughts, and really explore with yourself who you are, what you do well, what do you need to continue to grow. Okay, so a very good technique for this, and you have to write this one down. I don't have a visual for this at the moment. Actually, I might do, so if you bear with me, I probably will be able to find it for you. But it's Kolb's experiential learning. Okay, and it's a whole model or a cycle around how you can learn from experiences. All right, so this is about looking at the situation, so what actually has happened, whether that be in your 2016 or in a specific relationship or interaction, what went well, what didn't go so well, evaluating some of that stuff, and then thinking about how you can therefore make changes to make the experience better, to improve it, or you might just tick the box and say, hey, I've got this, I've really started to do this now, so I don't have to think about that as a learning goal anymore, but there might be other things that you might need to continue to develop. All right, so really think about where you can bring in the experiential learning cycle. So I will ever so quickly try and find that for you, because I normally do have them backed up and ready. So let's have a quick look. I'm sure I've got a copy of that, so bear with me. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is it's video to video, so that's probably not going to work, but what I'd recommend is if you Google Kolb, Kolb's experiential cycle, and that should bring up the visual for you. So I do apologize, but I will put it on my page just so that you've got it there if you've watched that. All right, and when I say page, it will be my Facebook page or my LinkedIn, so just have a look on whichever one it is. All right, so let's get back to where we are. So we're at the point of reflection, and you don't just reflect on the good, you have to think about the things that probably didn't work so well, that probably didn't work so well for you in the past. So you just want to make sure you are in a position to really dig deep within yourself and start asking yourself those true questions around what is it that I want to get out of the next year, and what is it that I've done this year that's either helped or hindered me getting there. All right, so you're starting to see a bit of a pattern here, I'm hoping, and it's all about saying what went well, but what do I need to do differently to achieve these goals. Okay, so back to the model. All right, so the last thing that I want to share with you is about insights, because all of these steps that you take are going to lead you to a place of insight. Okay, this is knowing more about yourself and understanding yourself a little bit more. So what I would say in this section is that you have to know these things clearly. All right, so again, linking back, you have to know these things clearly. You have to want certain things in your life, and from some of these tools and techniques of asking yourself those deepening questions around what have you learned, being clear about what success looks like for you, being aware of the tools and resources and support that you have around you to help you to achieve that, and then actually applying some of that, what's worked, what's not worked so well. That brings you to a space of insight. And again, when I spoke about the support systems, the insight you will get from working out who genuinely supports you and who doesn't will really help you next year in taking the leap forward and knowing who has your back, if you want to put it like that, or how to recreate the relationship with someone meaningful to you so that they do have your back in the future. All right, because like I said, no man is an island. All right, so the last two areas of the model is facilitation. I was going to say facilitated, but we're in a space of doing. So facilitation and you. All right, so normally it's facilitated for you, but you're doing the work this time, right? All of my clients do their work. Right? I might give you tools and techniques, but you have to do the work. So the facilitation, I'm going to call the actual creation of the vision board. So I'm going to introduce 3 techniques that you can use to create a vision for yourself. And the first one I've shown you already, which is the collage, right? So this is the traditional way of vision boarding, which is getting magazines, newspapers, Google images, printing them out and sticking them on a sheet. Now I've used a pretty large sheet. Okay, in England we call it A3. So you can make it as big as you want to, or as small as you want to, as long as it has the key areas that you want to achieve success. And those answers and those visuals should come out of the reflection process. They should come out of knowing what success means to you, what it looks like to you, because it's so individual. So I could sit here and say, right, we're going to create a vision board today, but you haven't done any of the deeper thinking yet. So save the video. You can use it later on, or take the notes from the video and then start to apply some of the pre-steps before you actually start to facilitate your own vision. Okay, so let's think about the second one, or let's take you through the second one, should I say, and that is what I like to call a vision mantra. So this is creating an audio of what you want. You can keep it really, I say simple, but I guess it's about you and kind of how you view it. So if you want it to be more complex and you want to go deeper with it, that's fine. And that's just recording from your own voice what it is that you would like to achieve. Okay, so or what it is you want as your vision. So I'll give you an example here. So you might want to put, I will grow my business. I will gain 10 more clients. I will be healthier. I will go to the gym 2 to 3 times a week. I will be the best person I can be each day. All right, so that's kind of the mantra, and you'll just sit there and record. So once you've written down all of the areas of success that you want to focus on for 2017, you then kind of create an audio for that. And I would suggest that you play that back to yourself as often as you need to. Make it your alarm, and technology today allows you to create your own alarm sounds. Make that your alarm if you need to. You know, play it last thing before you go to sleep. You know, whatever works for you during your lunchtime, however it works for you. Okay. And then lastly is to just write it down. Now, I'm much more of a written thinker. Does that even make any sense? No, but I much prefer to write things down. There's a saying that the faintest pen is better than the best memory. All right, so if you've got it written down somewhere and you pull it out, and you can write a list, or you can write them on post-it notes, and then stick them up on your walls. Now, that is kind of the last one that you can use, which is the list format. And what I find with the lists is that they can move a little bit easier. You can make them notes on your phone, on your iPad. You can, like I said, you can make post-it notes and stick them up all over different parts of the house. Same with the actual vision board. You'll see this was stuck up for some time in my old place. It hasn't gone back up yet, because I want to recreate. Like I said, I recreated my one, so that one is gone to the side now. But you can post them up, and I would say if you're going to put them up, you should put them up. If you're going to put them up, make sure you put them somewhere that you go to daily. All right, and that's accessible. If you want to be more private about it, that's fine. I don't know what your home situation might be like, or your office situation might be like, but what I would say is that it needs to be somewhere that you can see it, so that you're reminded of it. Right? It's so important that you have that reminder. You can create it, but if you shove it in, somewhere, then you've got to question, how much do you want to achieve that success? You spent the time creating your vision, but then you don't look back at your vision. And I can honestly tell you, many businesses have created visions, not looked back at their vision, not really implemented anything within their vision, and then they look back a year or two later and wonder why they haven't succeeded. You have to commit that to memory, and if you can't commit it to memory, you have to be able to see it every single day, once a week, twice a week, however much you need it. I guess it just depends on your level of motivation. Right, but so you can create 3 different types of vision boards. Actual vision board, you can do a vision mantra, or you can create your vision for success list. Okay, when I say success list, that would just be jotting down all of the areas, all the post-it notes, for example. Right, okay, so those are my tips for helping you to develop your own vision board / vision mantra / success list, however you want to view it. I use the term success list, but I actually use them on a daily basis, and I will give you be sending out a video later on around how you can create meaningful success lists. But those are more for the priorities you have in your life, weekly, monthly, daily, that you need to achieve, and kind of how we can best make the most of our time. All right, so I would like to thank you for spending this time with me. It's just about coming up to half an hour, so I hope I haven't spent too long with you, and that you've been able to engage and take something away from this. Feel free to comment, leave feedback, share your vision if you feel confident enough to share that with the world. Put it out there. They say put it out in the universe is another term. Why not share it, and we can probably open a discussion around how you can achieve some of these things. So as I said, I work as a coach. I have a few clients, and one of the key things I do is this vision of success with my clients. It's about knowing where they want to be before they can actually take the steps to get there. So if you're interested in taking up some of our services that we have at Clarify Coaching Services, then you can contact me as well, or leave a note on one of my pages, and I will get back to you. I just want to thank you again for spending this time with me. This was my first ever video, so if I stutter a bit, I do apologise. But I just wanted to get this out and share this with you before the beginning of the new year, so that you can all have the best start to 2017. I hope to hear from you all soon, and take care.